If you are considering a weekday wedding, by the end of this video, you will know about everything that you need to take into consideration to ensure that you are making an informed decision about whether or not a weekday wedding is right for you. For the best uncensored wedding planning advice so you can cut through the crap and plan your wedding with ease, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell so you'll be informed every Tuesday when we upload a new video. As a former wedding planner, I have worked with couples to help them to understand whether a weekday or weekend wedding is best for them. Throughout this video, I'm going to discuss with you the cost and benefits of having a weekday wedding so you can make an informed decision about whether or not to have your wedding on a weekday. Number one, cost. You will save yourself so much money if you have a weekday wedding. On average in the UK, you will save yourself over £5,000 overall on your wedding. So if you have a budget of £30,000, you might as well just slap an extra £5,000 on there without having to put your hands in your pockets. In addition to the money that you can save overall, there are two different areas that you need to pay attention to: your wedding venue and your wedding suppliers. Your wedding venue will be more flexible with their rates, with the additional extras that they provide if you are booking a weekday, because they want to ensure that they fill their availability, and if they don't generally fill on a Tuesday or Wednesday like for like, they are definitely going to want you in their space. On the other plot side, suppliers will be in less demand by the rest of the wedding planning couples trying to organise their weddings for the same year as you. On a weekend, especially on a Saturday, wedding suppliers are going to be inundated with inquiries, especially if they're really, really good. On a weekday, not so much. So if you go to them telling them that you're booking your wedding on a weekday, they're going to want to bite your hand off to get you to book with them so that they can fill a slot which will normally be empty. You are in a great position to negotiate, so remember that. Number two, wedding guests. If you want to reduce your wedding guest numbers, having a weekday wedding is a cheeky way of getting that guest list down to exactly the amount of people that you want. Now, what you will have to ensure is that you get in contact with your nearest and dearest, your parents, your family members, all those people that you actually want at your wedding day, and just double check that a weekday wedding won't inconvenience them. From you get the all clear from all of those people that have to be there, then you can go ahead and book your weekday wedding and hope that you don't get as many RSVPs as originally anticipated. On the flip side, if you are having a weekday wedding and you want everybody that you have on your guest list to attend, you have to be really strategic with how you invite your guests. So give them as much notice as possible if you are planning a weekday wedding that you want everyone to attend. No time is too soon. Number three, stress-free planning. By booking your wedding on a weekday, you reduce the stress that you feel during your wedding planning process considerably. The reason why there's less stress is because there's less pressure for you to meet deadlines for suppliers who are in demand. If you're talking to a photographer that you really want for your wedding day and they tell you, I've had 10 other inquiries for that space, you then feel pressurized to book them as quickly as possible. For weekday weddings, that pressure is reduced drastically because they're not in demand as much as they would be on a weekday weekend during peak wedding season. So you have the time to step back, take stock, and research other alternatives before you sign the dotted line. Comment below if you are considering a weekday wedding. We would love to hear why a weekday wedding appeals to you. Number four, evening ceremony. An evening ceremony for a weekday wedding is ideal. The reason being is because nobody's going to question the fact that your wedding is starting at 5:30 or 6:30 in the evening. The reason why you're starting at 5:30 or 6:30 will predominantly be because the majority of the people attending the wedding are going to be working, and you can state this within your wedding stationery, within your invitations, on your wedding website, so everybody's 100% clear and knows that they're not missing out on anything, or they're not an evening guest, which some people sometimes might get confused with. So make sure you do clarify that. By inviting people to come and join you for cocktail hour at 5:30, with the ceremony kicking off at 6:30, and then straight into dinner and dancing afterwards, guests will really be looking forward to your day and know that they're not going to miss out on having to take time off work or not be inconvenienced by taking a whole day to enjoy your wedding and then go back to work the following day. Number five, availability. Availability will not be an issue for you if you choose to book your wedding on a weekday. Venues in particular book their weddings up to 2 years in advance, and I kid you not, weekends, Saturdays in particular, are the first to get scooped up. And with some popular wedding venues, specifically within the UK, you cannot book a Saturday for love nor money for the next 2 years, even at the present time with coronavirus and everything else going on. They're completely swamped, and that's why we're having an issue at the moment with rescheduling our weddings, because the weddings dates that you would like are no longer available for the next 2 years. So if you choose to book your wedding on a weekday, you will never have an issue with the competition for availability that you would have if you were booking for a weekend. Number 6, guest savings. You can save your guests a considerable amount of money attending your wedding if you choose a weekday over a weekend. The main 2 reasons are because flights and accommodation, as we are all aware, are considerably cheaper on a weekday than they would be on a weekend. So negotiate with your wedding venue to see whether or not you can get a block booking of rooms when you're booking at a really reasonable rate for your guests, and make sure you do your research before contacting the venue to see what their general rate is for that time of year. Make a ghost call where you're just calling as a general customer from the outside and find out what a guest would be paying normally on a weekday and what they would be paying normally on a weekend, so that when you're getting those rates, you are fully aware that they are giving you a discount. You are in a great position to negotiate on behalf of your guests. If you're going to be giving that venue, that wedding space, the hotel that's closest to your wedding venue, a block booking, you are doing them a huge service, filling up a slot which would normally be vacant during that time of the week. Now you know the exact benefits to booking your wedding on a weekday and everything that you need to consider to make an informed decision about whether a weekday wedding is right for you. We have left a link in the description box to a checklist of all of your wedding priorities, which you should have outlined already, but if you haven't, it's never too late to do so to ensure that you can keep your wedding planning on track. Check out these videos next on the 14 things your guests do not care about, and also the 9 things that will irritate your guests on your wedding day. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also share with other couples on their wedding planning journeys.